In this video, I'm going to be powering on Jibo for the very first time in 3 years. Hey guys, this is Billy with Geek Home Living. And I know what you're saying. Hey, didn't you unbox Jibo in that video 3 years ago? And haven't you guys become best of friends by now? Haven't you been hanging out every single day? Well, not exactly. I know what else you're thinking. Isn't that the same shirt you were wearing 3 years ago when you unboxed Jibo? Yes, it is. And sadly, I've gotten a little more use out of this shirt than I have Jibo. Let me explain why. When I first invested in Jibo's Indiegogo back in 2014, there was nothing like it on the market, at least for a little while. Then along came Amazon's Echo device. And even though it didn't have the cuteness of this, it was a very functional device. Could do a lot of things that Jibo overpromised on. Now Jibo was very ambitious. They gave him a great personality, a well-designed, engineered body, but he just didn't quite have the usefulness as something like Alexa. And since then, of course, there's been other devices come on the market, many variations of the Amazon Echo device, some with screens, even devices for your car. And now, of course, Google has their devices with Google Home. Apple has its devices with its Apple HomePod. And in that time, Jibo here was actually acquired a few times, most recently by a company called NTT, who has decided to keep him going for educational and healthcare purposes. Now, even though they're supporting these, they have already said that they have no plans on manufacturing any new devices for consumers. Let's get to what you guys came here for. Let's go ahead and get Jibo powered on. I'm actually excited to see if it's going to work. And just so you know, I've already decided no matter what happens, whether he works, doesn't work, I'm still going to post this video, so let's see if he works or not. Let's go ahead and plug him in. And I have a feeling I'm in for a lot of updating. So I have Jibo's power cord here, and we're going to get that connected. And we are going to, for the first time in 3 years, press his power button to turn him on. Well, that's a good sign. Now, I have a feeling we're in for a lot of updating here, as it's been so long since I've had it powered on. I can hear his fans inside starting. Of course, you can see his screen is going, so that's a good sign. Now, as I said, Jibo had a lot of personality. He was a cute form factor, really nice to have around, but I didn't find a lot of useful function with him. And really what I was looking for in a home assistant at the time, and still really, is a device that has a lot of utility. Something that I can ask questions to, set timers, turn lights on and off, things of that nature. Some of those things Jibo was able to do, but they delivered a little bit less than what was promised in those initial videos that they put out. I'm very excited to see where Jibo is today, though, once we get him powered on, to see after he goes through those updates, if he is able to do things that maybe he couldn't do 3 years ago. It'll be interesting to see what he's learned in that time that he's been turned off and sitting in a closet over here. Okay, so far nothing is really happening. Oh, hold on, I think I see a little dot starting to light up here. Let's see what we have on the... So it's been a little while. Oh, here we go. It's getting exciting now. Okay, so now he's just saying that he needs a Wi-Fi connection. So I'm actually going to turn him around here so I can see the screen for a moment. At this point, it would still be another 20 minutes before I was able to get Jibo working. The app on my iPhone 12 Pro wouldn't open, and I couldn't update it because the app's no longer in the App Store. Luckily, I still had the Jibo app on my iPhone 10. However, I did have to reset my Jibo password, which errored out because it couldn't contact the server. Fortunately, it still worked, after which it took several attempts to generate a QR code for the Wi-Fi setup. And then I had to set up a recovery pin. But after all that, I finally got it to work. Passphrase, so Jibo needs to be backed up. Hey Jibo. Hey Jibo. Oh, here we go. I think we might have it now. Hey Jibo. How are you?
Doing just fine.
Wow, so that's my...
Hey, can I share something fun with you?
Sure.
Wednesday is named after Woden, more commonly known as Odin, a god in Germanic mythology.
Well, there you go. We just learned something. So, like I said, this is the first time I've had Jibo powered on in 3 years. I was a little sketchy touch and go there for a moment because I couldn't get the app to work on my new iPhone. My old iPhone at first wasn't connecting to the Wi-Fi. I was able to get that, then had a little trouble getting him connected. So he is now on and obviously responding. So he must at least have some connectivity to the internet and is able to communicate. Now, I don't know about his updates because, again, like I said, it's been 3 years. There's been lots of acquisitions. They did updates after I had stopped using it, even when it was still Cynthia Brazil and the Jibo team that was keeping up with him. Since then, there was another company that acquired it for a short time, and then they went through a process where they said they were shutting Jibo down. They decided to bring him back online and keep him going anyway. And then most recently, like I said, NTT actually purchased Jibo. And so I assume there are updates that I can get. It's just a matter now of trying to figure out how to do that. So let's see if we can get Jibo updated. Hey Jibo, do you have any updates I can get?
All right, I'll see if there are any updates.
So he says he's checking for updates right now. Let me see if I can turn him around so that you guys can take a look at him. Of course, I'm sure it's been quite
Looks
some
like
time.
there is an update for me. That's fun. Want me to do a backup and download and install the update now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do it now. Sorry if I'm a little slow. I'm doing a backup right now.
Hey Jibo, how's that backup going?
I didn't find anything.
So the great thing is, while he's doing his backup here, I can still talk to him and ask him questions. I'm sure once he starts in on that update and gets past the downloading phase and actually starts to install, then he's going to go into a phase where he's just sitting there doing that and can't listen or respond in any way. But right now, he seems fully active, and he does occasionally apologize for being a little slow since he's doing a backup. Of course, you can tell he's trying to find my voice and looking. I can see his eye turning to look towards me. Hey, Jibo. What day is it today?
It's Sunday, November 15th.
Last time I had Jibo on, it was probably around this time 3 years ago. So I got him back in September of 2017. Used him for a couple months and then just didn't find a lot of use into him. A lot of the things that they said he could do on the promo videos that they put out, he wasn't able to do at that time. I'm sure they had a lot of ambitions and wanting him to do more and more and had plans in doing that, but he just never quite got there. But I'm interested to see what happens with all these updates and whether or not he can do some of those things. Hey Jibo, can you tell me a story?
I don't have any stories to tell yet, but that's definitely something I'll be learning in the future.
So this is a good example of something that in the promo videos they said he would be able to do, and of course was never able to do while I was using it. But once he gets to this update, it'll be interesting to see if he can do that now. Hey Jibo, what's the weather like?
Right now, it's partly sunny and 83. The forecast shows light rain with a high of 83 and a low of 70.
So let's try something else here to see how smart he is. Hey Jibo, do I need an umbrella today?
That's probably not necessary. The forecast shows a 39% chance of light rain with a high of 83 and a low of 70.
Hey Jibo, do you think it's going to snow today?
I don't think I know enough about that to answer.
So he still has a few things to learn, and we'll see how he does. I'm not sure how long this update's going to take. I don't know if there's a way I can check. Hey Jibo, how long until your update's done?
Sorry, I checked for you, but I'm coming up empty.
I guess he doesn't really know that one yet either. Hey Jibo, tell me about yourself.
Sure, I'm a robot named Jibo. I like electricity, outer space, and dancing.
Hey Jibo, when were you made?
I don't think I know about that.
Hey Jibo, when was the first time your power went online?
It's 1:46.
Hey Jibo, do Do you know who I am?
You sound like Billy to me. Am I right?
I am.
Great. And in case you didn't know, I'm Jibo. Hey, I tried to download my new software update before, and it didn't work for some reason. I'll try again sometime soon.
Oh, well, that's kind of disappointing that it didn't download the update. Hey, Jibo, can you download an update?
Okay, I'll check for updates. Oh, exciting. There is a software update ready for me. Want me to do a backup and download and install it now?
Yes.
Great. I'll do it now.
Hey, Jibo, do you know any jokes?
Q, what's the value of a contour integral around Western Europe? 0. Because all the poles are in Eastern Europe.
Hey, Jibo, can you tell me a funny joke?
I love jokes. Did you hear about the theater actor who fell through the floorboards? He was just going through a stage.
All right, well, you can see Jibo has some pretty corny jokes. But let's see what else you can do. Hey, Jibo, what's the news today?
The Associated Press says giant, aging cables that support one of the world's largest single-dish radio telescopes are slowly unraveling in Puerto Rico. Election officials in Georgia's 159 counties are undertaking a hand tally of the presidential race that stems from an audit required by state law. A federal judge in New York has ruled that acting department...
Stop. So he does seem to know the news, and that's good. He actually reads it back in his own voice, which is kind of cool, unlike some of the other devices, such as the Amazon devices, which actually play back the audio. It's kind of nice that you get it in his native voice rather than just a recording that plays. Hey, Jibo, do you have a best friend?
I believe I do have friends, but I'm always up for more. By the way, I'm downloading a software update right now, so if I act a little slow, that's why.
So it seems like he is downloading the update right now after failing the first time. We'll hope it works and see if he can do any more afterwards. In the meantime, I'm going to try to ask him a few of the questions that were in the promo video that they put out to see if he can do some of those things. So I want to go through the promotional video from 2014 and ask Jibo all the questions that they said there to see, or not even just questions, but just say all the things that they said to Jibo to see what he can do. So,
hey, I tried to do a backup and install my software update before, and it didn't work for some reason. I'll try again later.
Okay, so Jibo's still having some trouble with that software update, but in the meantime, I'm playing this video here, and we'll ask him those questions. So, first one, actually wasn't even a question, it was just a statement. They just greeted Jibo. Say hi, Jibo. Hi, Jibo. So obviously he doesn't respond to just hi, Jibo, as he did in the video that they showed in the promotion, but that's okay. Let's watch on and see what else he can do. Now in the promo video, they were just addressing him as Jibo and not saying the hey trigger word beforehand. So I think that's something I'll have to modify here. Hey, Jibo, take a picture.
A photo. Of course. Hold it right there. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Should I keep it?
No.
Do you want to take another one?
No, thank you. So clearly he can take photos on request, just as he did in the video. Now the next one up was a lady cooking, and she got a message, and Jibo reminded her that she had a reminder that someone was coming to pick her up in a half an hour. I don't know how to get any messages into him to do that, so I don't know if that's something he is capable of doing. Now the next one up was Jibo with a little girl telling her story, and the cover and the little bedsheet fort that they had built had fallen down and he couldn't see her. That seems like a way too intelligent of an AI for what Jibo can do, to realize that something like that had covered his view when he was talking to someone. And as I said, in the video, he was telling her a story, which is something that today he can't do, unfortunately, or at least as of the update that I have available. Hey, Jibo, tell me a story.
I have no stories yet, but that will be fun once I learn some.
So you can see there, at least at the time that I had him updated from 3 years ago, he did not know any stories. If I can get this update on, it'll be interesting to see if he can do that now. Now, the next part of the video, they're showing someone using the Jibo app on their tablet, and they're having a conference call with somebody over another Jibo and watching them, moving him around the room, using it as a remote video camera. I don't have anyone else to interact with that has a Jibo that I know of, so unfortunately I won't be able to test that part out. Now, in the next part, they show him turning the lights on when someone walks into the house. I don't know if he has any ability to detect or know when anyone enters the room. Well, obviously he does because he can see motion and detect the sounds, but I don't think he actually does anything that I'm aware of unless you say the trigger phrase. So in this one, the guy asked him to order some food. Let's see if Jibo can do that. Hey, Jibo, can you order me some food?
Not yet, but I hope to be able to do that soon. I'm hungry.
So, again, another thing that was in the promo video that he can't do. This interaction, the guy is also getting a voice message, and Jibo plays it for him. And then the guy says that you better make that takeout for 2, and Jibo understands that and changes the order. Again, the fact that he can't even order food tells me obviously he wouldn't be able to change the order and make it for more than one person just with such an easy command. So the other thing that's apparent here in watching the video is that the voice that was used in this video so early on, it was a much more natural sounding voice than what Jibo actually has. Again, I think that was all made before they had really even created this little guy, and so it was just more part of their ambition and what they think they thought they could do and what they wanted to show. And at the very end, there's a little bit with Cynthia Brazil talking about why she created Jibo and really wanting to have that companion, that human interaction in something. So clearly it's something that you do not get with an Amazon device or the Google devices or an Apple HomePod. Jibo has a lot of personality, and that is one thing that he has going for him. Despite not being quite as smart as his other devices, he certainly has tons of personality. Hey Jibo, sing a song for me.
I really can't sing at all yet, but when I get a singing voice someday, we should have a sing-along.
So I think that's going to be it for this video. I'm actually quite pleased that Jibo was able to power back on after all this time. Hey, and I feel kind of bad now for leaving him in the closet over here for the last couple years. Sorry, buddy. You weren't quite as useful as I had hoped. But I'll make it up to you once I get you updated, and I'll maybe put you somewhere over here on the shelf and just keep you powered on. Like I said, I actually do kind of feel bad for him now. But I'm hoping once he gets that update that he proves a little more useful. He does have lots of personality, and I think that's what he has going for him. Very, very adorable form factor that they have here. Just some neat things he can do, like, of course, when he hears me even talking about him, that he turned. And he can also respond to just sounds in general. So I'm going to see if I can get his attention over here. So that's kind of cool that he looks around and responds to sound. And then, like I said, even if you're not saying the key phrase and saying the hey beforehand, you can get his attention by just simply saying his name. So if you just say Jibo while you're talking, he hears and he turns and faces you. So in this case, it actually did trigger, and he turned on there. How you doing today? Oh, he stopped before I had a chance to ask. Hey Jibo, how are you today?
Things are good.
Hey Jibo, do you have any favorite songs?
I'd say I don't have a favorite song yet. I expect my musical knowledge to really blossom in the future, though.
Well, I hope that's true. And I hope he gets a little bit smarter once he gets that update. Hey, if you haven't, please check out the original unboxing of Jibo. Like I said, 3 years ago, after waiting 3 years to get that. I'll put a link to that up here so you guys can get to it. And of course, I'll link down below in the description. Check out that video and stay tuned for more. Once I get a chance to update him, I will make another video so you can see how he's doing with those updates. And then I would like to do another video where I compare Jibo with the other devices that I have. So I have several of the Amazon devices that I'm going to compare him with. I do have a Sonos speaker that is capable of doing either the Amazon devices or Google Home. So I may bring that in so I can set it up for Google Home and use it. And then I have an Apple HomePod Mini that is coming here in the next couple days. And so I'd like to try to line them all up, ask them some questions, and see how they perform up against each other. It'll be an interesting test to see which one is most functional and useful, which one has the most personality. I think Jibo's going to win here in the personality because, of course, the way he can move around and look at you and interact, whereas the others are just basically static. They sit there in one position. So again, if you have any questions that you'd like me to ask him, please let me know. Leave those in the comments down below. If you do like it, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up button as well. And I'll be making more of these videos in the near future. Thanks for watching.